and welcome or welcome back to Actually Let's Talk About It with me, your host Lily. And today we will be reacting to ATEEZ's EP, their debut EP called Treasure Episode 1 All to Zero. So this is part 2 of catching up with ATEEZ. So part 1 consisted of their music video. So it was Pirate King, it was Treasure, and it was Say My Name. And this is part 2, so we're getting into the EP that has both Pirate King and Treasure on it in the track list. And then there's 4 other songs we're going to get into as well. And it's all contributing to the storyline of ATEEZ and the group and the music videos. So we're just going to get more in depth so we can have that background information. So it's going to be very, very interesting just to see how this album is going to go, because I just want to see how the storyline is going to all tie together. So it goes from the first song, which is intro, Long Journey, then it goes into Pirate King, then it goes into Treasure, then it goes into Twilight, then Stay, and then My Way. So it's a 6-song album. It's under 20 minutes, y'all. And I'm just like, oh, what they gonna give us? What they gonna give us? What hints are in this album? And I'm excited because I do see that there is 3 people on listed in the writer and the producer credits, and that's Eden, Buddy, and Lee's. And they're listed as the writers for every song and the producers for every song. And I'm like, okay. But also, Hongjoong and Mingi are listed as writers for Pirate King, Treasure, Twilight, Stay, and My Way. And I was wondering why that is. And when I was doing my research, on ATEEZ and all that is the group, I did find out that they are the only 2 rappers in the group. All the other 6 members are listed either as just vocalists solely or vocalists and dancers. That's terms of their position in the group. So I was like, oh, that is why. That makes a lot of sense. And so now that we have all that background information, and I don't want to ramble off too long, we are just going to do our patron shout out, and then we're going to get right into this reaction. So let's see it here. So the first patron shout out, it does go out to Keisha L. The second patron shout out does go out to MK Han. The third patron shout out does go out to Dia, or Dea, spelled D-E-A. And the fourth and final patron shout out does go out to Renaya Shannon. I want to thank you all so much for supporting the Patreon. And I'm going to make sure that we get a bunch of content out to y'all really, really, really soon. And on YouTube as well. And if you do happen to be watching this video on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and to also give this video, I was about to say this channel, this video a good thumbs up, just so it can get out to more people. And then also leave a comment if you'd like to leave a comment about what you think about the album. Or if this is your first time hearing the album like me, let me know. And I know it's an EP, but I call it an album. Like if it's longer than 2 songs, it's an album at this point. That's how I think. Okay, but yes, we are going to get straight into it. And I basically have the fan translations. So basically ATEEZ translations of their songs that they made on YouTube. It's like this playlist. It's just entitled ATEEZ Lyrics. And it's created by Amanda Idea. It's 78 songs in total. But we're going to just get into the songs on Treasure Episode 1 All to Zero. And y'all, it's going to be cool. I just want to see what it's going to do and hear the story and the lyrics and just see it in real time. Because I like to visually see the words as well. So it just takes on a whole different meaning that way to me. But yes, we're going to get into it. I just want to make sure the volume is up so that, we feel them lyrics. But yes, without further ado, we're going to get straight into this reaction. So let's go.
It can be different to every individual.
Okay.
It can complete us, or it can destroy us. And it can change the world.
Ooh.
People call it treasure.
Okay. It's kind of giving like a Pirates of the Caribbean intro. I see this. Okay, let's go. Oh. Okay, so let's go.
The vibration of sand beating like the hearts of youth. We're at the starting point of this long journey. The freezing winds may make us shiver. The heat of the sun may make us thirsty. The vibrations of the sand may swallow us.
Okay.
But we'll never stop.
I heard that.
Gold, eternal life, honor, love, fame.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter what you dream for. So let me ask you, what is your treasure?
Okay. Okay. I like that it was. Oh, and
Join
then
us.
will you join? Oh, okay. Like I like that it was. It kind of gave you the tone of the album. So it's giving very much like Pirates of the Caribbean, like the music. Like I'm immediately thinking to the original Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Like it was giving that vibe. I was like, oh, okay. And then also when they ask, what is your dream? I think like it's important, especially as young people, to always remember what we really want to do. Because I think a lot of times you get caught up in going from being a minor in your teens and going into adulthood. And you can kind of get caught up in all the mundaneness of being an adult that you forget, oh yeah, I once had dreams. Or I still have dreams that I want to pursue outside of, this 9 to 5 or going to college. You still have those dreams. They never really left you. And I think that is so important to remember. And I like how they're adding that in there. I see what they're doing. And then when they said, will you come join us? I'm like, on this ride? Yes, we will. So we're going to get into the next song. I'm excited. It's Pirate King. Like, I think I forgot how much I liked Pirate King. I think I did because I really, really, really like the song and also the vibe and the storyline it paints as well. Because we do get the fact that they are time traveling pirates. That's why he said anywhere we can go. And even in Mingi's rap, he did allude to the fact that they go to the past and the future. And they can, like just have that leisure to travel as they please. But I'm also wondering if that leisure to travel as they please and going between the past and the present, if what they're doing in the past is changing the present and the future. Like if what their like characters in this storyline are doing in the past when they go into the past, if it's causing ripple effects that is creating the dystopian future that they know. Because like I do know that their present is that dystopia and the future is even further version of that dystopia. But I wonder if their time traveling into the past cause their present to be that way and cause the future to be that way. I don't know. I'm always thinking of that because like I watched Doctor Who. I haven't watched it in a minute, but I used to watch it back when Matt Smith and David Tennant were the doctors. And I'm like, I do always know that changing events in the past can severely and sometimes catastrophically alter the present and the future timelines that you are used to and the future timelines that you have yet to experience. So I'm wondering if their Pirate King-esqueness, if what they were doing in the past as pirates, just time traveling pirates, affected their present and their future without them even realizing it. Like what if they caused the present that they're trying to escape from and they didn't even realize that they did? I'm gonna just leave it there. They harmonies though, I gotta give it to them on these. They be killing these harmonies. I really like it. I think like the part that's sticking out the most to me is just like they're like uncovering like riches as they go between the timelines. But also it's the fact that he keeps saying like we could be savage or we are savage, even in his line for Mingi's rap and even in Hongjoong's line as well. In his second, like the second portion of his rap in the song, he does say that as well. And I'm like, I think that the idea of savagery, it does depend on who you're talking about, because usually people will like to label people that are what they consider unorthodox or unusual for them that don't fit societal norms as savage, even though, like it's kind of like a very loose term, especially in the English language. Savage doesn't necessarily indicate a bad thing. It's just something that they can't comprehend because they used to put that label on indigenous people, not just indigenous people in North America and South America, so aka Native Americans, or Mesoamericans or Mesoamerican slash Andean people, because those are the indigenous people of South America, in case y'all didn't know that. Just a little history. And they also used to put that label on indigenous African people. So it just means that they don't behave how somebody on the outside looking in would, by their societal norm standards, would expect someone to act. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are savage. It just means that to the outside world looking in, it appears unorthodox, thus they label it savagery. So I'm finding it interesting that they're using that word as well, and you can kind of understand that that's what they mean when they say that word. And then also the way that savage is now a euphemism for a boss. Okay, so I'm like, Megan Thee Stallion reference a savage, like, that's all I'm gonna say. But I'm like, I find it so interesting how they're really using both Korean and English to get their point across here, and it's eaten. They giving us a story here, and it's cohesively flowing. I can't wait to hear what they're gonna do in this next song, though. Okay, because now we got, what is the next song here? We got Twilight. Okay.
Twilight, it's like Twilight, yeah. Oh baby, I just wanna see that Twilight.
Okay.
Wanna see that with
Ooh.
you.
Okay. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on.
함께라면 이 시간은 paradise. 내 감사는 석영이 마치 It's mine, all mine. 우린 지금 물들어가고 있어. 뜨거워진 우리 맘을 눈치채고 가감이도 풀파스텔 덮어버린 부분 뺏어간다. 아직 마주보기 쉽지 않지만 이런 배경이 있다면 눈보는 건 시간 문제야. 우리라 누구인 것들 우리만의 우리 안에 둘이라는 섬 한없이 달리다 내 넓은 들판에 누워 누가 보는 것들.
Okay, I didn't know a song could sing like that. That's awesome. Come on.
저 붉은 하늘 위로 날아올라. Just think about flying in the sky. Just think about flying in the sky. Yeah. 내 손을 잡아봐 이제는 flying. 올라와 파도 속에 올라타. 시간이 가로막아도 멋지는 순간들. 간직할 거니까 네 한계가 다가와 분위기가 우리 이것을 터질 듯한 느낌이야. 황홀한 이 순간이 더 비어지지 않게. 너 나의 추억 합치면 둘보다 교무한데 기억 안에 들어갈게 너의 안에. 또렷하게 기억나 못 막지 예쁜하게.
Song is really giving. Okay. Come on now. Okay.
나를 믿어줘 증언돼 저기다 Twilight 예쁘지만 우린 절대 아직 on the right 너처럼 밝게 빛나니까 그 너를 마치 오래 보다면 주저하니까 We vampire baby 빛나니 wow.
Ooh, I like that. I love that. That's awesome. Come on.
It's like Twilight, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, ATEEZ, come on now. And I think that for this song for Twilight, it's definitely about love because they did mention that they were like going to like pursue their dreams, pursue their love. But I'm not sure if the love that they're talking about here is the love of music and their artistry. And that's like what they're singing to or singing about, or if it's love for one another, or if it's love for a teenie, aka their fans. And I'm like, it has so many meanings that it could mean. It could be their dream, could be what they're talking about. Because sometimes your dreams, in terms of music and artistry, it can be as if it's a real person because that's how much it means to you. So I'm like, this can have multiple meanings here. Ooh, let's get into the next song. It's Stay. Oh. Okay.
Tell me where you like to go. All I want is you. 곁에 있는 것만으로는 내게 소용해. 이 가슴이 시선이 어디 향하든 네가 영감이 된 가슴이 stay with me. 너의 곁이 텅 비었다는 착각이 공허할 때 보고 느껴지지 마.
Okay.
언제나 생각하지만 난 네 곁에 언제나 서 있어.
Come on. Okay, come on, Uyoung. Come on. Oh, I like this. This is a little bop, y'all. Jungkook, he got a voice on him. That's all I'm gonna say. I've noticed that since the first song on the album. Okay. Come on. I love when people do that on the background vocals. Like, I love the ad-libs. Come on now. Ooh, okay, like I really, okay. This was a bop because you really got to hear, like you got to hear in the last song as well. In Twilight, you got to hear the vocalists vocalize, but we get to hear Uyoung a little bit more here, and I'm like, okay, sir, let's hear your, like, I let it hear the skills. And I'm like, I also like hearing Sungwa's singing voice and Yeosan's singing voice as well. And I'm like, because we already know Yeonho can sing. Okay, that's not a question. Okay, and Jungkook, okay, I know the H is silent. That's how I heard him pronounce his name. So that's how I pronounce it. Okay, even though it looks like Jung-ho to me, it's Jungkook because the H is silent. So that's how I pronounce it. This man can sing. Like he could sing. And I'm wondering if he comes from a family of singers, but what would be even funnier is if he didn't come from a family of singers and he just happens to be able to really sing really well. Because he is giving, like, the best singers can do ad libs, like what he just did on this song and what he's been doing in other songs so very effortlessly. And that's what he's doing. And I'm like, and he's going in and out of octaves too. Okay. Because I'm like, I grew up in Black church. Okay. So I'm like, I can hear a good singer regardless of what language that they're speaking in. And this man, Jungkook, he's a singer. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. He's a singer. Every last person in a ATEEZ that's a vocalist can sing. Okay, they singers, and I'm just like, ooh, like it's refreshing to see that. Cause sometimes I think people, sometimes some people, I ain't gonna name no names, like they rely on auto tune and things like that. But ATEEZ really got the talent to back it up, and the lyricism is well thought out as well. I love me a well thought out song. And then also with Stay, I'm not sure if they're talking about one another. Again, it could be romantic or it could be platonic, but it's giving the essence that like they're all 8 people who have found themselves together at the right place at the right time to go on this journey together. And it's kind of like they're soulmates in a way, like all 8 of them for each other in different ways, because the soulmate doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. It could be very much platonic, but you all just have that kinship and that unity with one another and that brotherhood with one another. And it's kind of giving that with this song. That's how I'm feeling about it. But you know, it could be about something else, but that's how I'm taking it. And then the next song is My Way. Let's get into it. I want to hear how this gonna go. Because they got some beats too. The producers, I see them.
길고 길었었다 여기까지 쓰고 했던 말은 하긴 일러 아직까지 시작이 반이면 I'm here for the good life I'm on my way 난 모습하는 끝까지 즐겨야지 better life 이젠 인정의 삶은 깨나기 marathon 차이는 코스를 가정해서 간단 거
Oh, I heard that Owning Your Destiny. Come on now.
어지럽히든 넘기도 괜찮지만 오늘은 순수히 축하해줘 나 아니 우리 저 셋 쉽진 않겠지만 멈출 순 없어 나도 Go faster No matter what I'm going my way 매일 밤 꿈꾸던 그곳으로 Don't worry we just going our way It's my weekend to every day
Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Okay.
이게 my way 이게 my way 이게 our way
Okay, come on now.
항상 돌봐주길 바랬어 맞아 나 자신을 diss 혼자가 된단 순간 내게 무척 힘이 들었어 내 곁을 지키던 기억들이 하나씩 무너져 갈 때쯤에 주위를 둘러싼 모든 것들이 사라진다 생각했기 때문에 돌아보지 않아 인생은 끝이었음 알길도 흔들렸던 나 자신도 변화 이것도 알길도 잊을 수 없다면 즐겨 청춘이란 단어 비기도 이 순간 아픔은 버려 날아가기에
Oh, okay, Mickey got deep there. Come on now. Come on, come on. Come on now. Let's go. Hey.
어떤 것들도 내 발걸음에 멈출 순 없어 우리 운명을 믿어 힘든 시간을 잊어 너 지금뿐이야 거침없이 나가자
I love that. Okay, what a way. What a way. What a way. Okay. What a way. What a way to end the EP. I mean, my way is saying a lot, and it's kind of giving a lot of insight into how ATEEZ is as a group and what they kind of stand for, because you kind of see that the pirate time travelers are a metaphor for owning your own destiny in a way. And I like how they're using like the symbolism and the storyline to tell people that it doesn't just apply to young people, but like how they said grow up, row up, in like reference to the fact that pirates are on a ship and they're sailing towards their dreams in a way. And I'm thinking like that is so very vital for young people to hear, because a lot of times people do tell you to grow up because, you know, you're an adult now and you have to do this and that and the third if you wanted to survive in this world. But also with telling people to grow up, you also have to make sure that you're also giving like grace in the fact that most of their life up until the age of 18, they've been kids, they've been dependents, and now they're getting thrust into the world of adulthood, and that's like new, and it can be a very scary thing. But you also have dreams and ambitions of what you want to do now that you're grown. And I think like it's such a good thing that they're telling people like not to be afraid. Dreams are everywhere. Because I'm like I think there's this quote by somebody who said like you're never too old to dream a new dream. Because I think some people like when things don't go our way, sometimes we can like have that like self-preservation or this thing to protect ourselves where we just shut down and we just give up completely on that dream and we never touch it again. And then sometimes you have to remember that you can always dream a new dream. And sometimes the dream that you thought you wanted might not have been what was needed at the time, and that's why it didn't work out. But now that you're in a place where you're more stable and you're more secure and you're more prepared, you can try to pursue that dream again or another variation of it and be successful in it. And I'm like, I like how they're ending it here. And especially the part where they're telling people not to be afraid and that dreams are everywhere. Because I think sometimes the way that life can go, depending on like your background and your social economic status and the way that your society is, whether it's really conservative or if it's liberal or if it's a mix of both, it can really kind of try to box you into something, even if that's not what you are, you know? And I'm like, and I can relate to that as a person, like, especially like a Black woman growing up in America, like how people try to like box you into a certain type of stereotype about Black people or Black women specifically, or a certain type of stereotype about young people, or a certain type of stereotype about American people, and how you just don't want to be put into one thing because there's more than one way to be Black. There's more than one way to be a Black woman. There's more than one way to be a quote unquote American. And, you know, and you just don't want to be pigeonholed by these things. And you don't want people to see you as just one thing. We are a bunch of things. And I'm like, and I get what they're trying to say there. But, you know, I always want people to see me as a Black woman now because, you know, that's what I am. But in terms of how they believe that Black women should be when they don't really know about Black people, that's what you don't want people to think of. Because I'm like, yeah, I might not do things that you're expecting of a Black woman in your mind, but there's more than one way to be Black. There's more than one way to be a Black woman. And you got to let me be me and not what you want me to be to fit your version of who you think I am. That kind of a thing. And I know that that is common sentiment in Korea as well, because it's a conservative society. Like, you know, we ain't conservative, but sometimes we like to pretend that we are, but we not really, but we kind of are. But it depends on where you're born. Like if you're born in the South, they conservative. You know, it just depends on what region of the United States that you were born in for that. But I do know in Korea, it's very traditional values, you know, and like I do know the work culture in Korea and the study culture in Korea and how that there's an emphasis on that for kids and test scores and things like that. There's an emphasis in America as well, but it's just not heightened. We don't like have after school study sessions that go for hours into the nighttime. Like we don't have that, especially not in public schools, maybe in private schools. Because I've been to both. I was in private school up until really middle school. My mom had me and my sister in private school, just practically our whole school career. And it was Christian private school. So it wasn't like heavily into studies, really. It was just private school. It was just Christian private school. So we learned about the Bible and things like that, but it wasn't heavily academic. But I do know in Korea, things are academic for kids and young people, and the pressures that can come from that of trying to be the best and trying to get into school. And we have those pressures in the States, but just knowing that there's a group that gets what you're going through as a young person, especially like ATEEZ, and that they're so adamant about letting you know not to be afraid and that you can always dream a new dream. Because sometimes you thought, oh, I want to do this. And then you get to college, you're like, nah, I don't really want to do this. I want to do that. And, that's why there's some people who go into college and they have no major because they're still trying to figure it out. Because you could think that you want to do something when you first get into high school and say, oh, yeah, like I'm going to go to school for this. And then by the time senior year comes, I don't want to do this at all. I need to figure out something else. But it's time to get into college and I got to start filling out these early admissions or these regular admissions and getting my essays and my test scores and my transcripts together. But I don't really want to know I don't really know what I want to do for my major. So you have these type of decisions. And I'm glad that they're letting you know that dreams are everywhere because I feel like it's very important. But I also like that in listening to this EP, I get that the pirate time traveler storyline is a symbolism for like your youth and making sure that you pursue what makes you happy, regardless of what people are going to say. Because sometimes it could be your own family members. And you can't let what they're going to say affect you from living your life because you only get one this go around. You could be reborn, but this one is the one you currently in. So you just treat it as though you got one for right now. Okay? We're not going to get to reincarnation right now, but we're going to treat it as it's the only one we got. And you want to just make sure that you're doing everything, in wisdom. Always use wisdom as well. But to make yourself happy and to pursue things that you want to pursue. Because, time waits for no one and we get older every year, every day, really. So, you want to just make sure that you're keeping yourself motivated and that you're keeping your dreams alive. And I'm just liking that that's what ATEEZ is saying here. I'm like, oh, cool. So I can't wait to hear their next EP here because it's going to be Treasure episode 2 and we're going to get into it, y'all. But yeah, that's my reaction to Treasure episode 1 all to 0. If you have stayed all the way through my ramblings and my pauses and my breaks, I want to thank y'all so much for watching because I know there probably was a lot, but yes. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed because we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and every day we get a whole heck of a lot closer. And also do not forget to give this video a good thumbs up because that helps with the algorithm. And leave a comment if you'd like to leave a comment down below. And if you are watching this video on Patreon, I want to thank you so much for being a patron. Your support is so very much appreciated. And I will be back with another reaction. It may not be catching up with ATEEZ. It might be. It might be catching up with ATEEZ part 3. But we're going to see y'all. But I will see you on the next reaction. Bye.